Play of the game from way down.
Silence. Rain are getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bomb's Dingo gonna find Rain.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Christmas edition of the Nexus Gaming Series. Unfortunately, I do not have a Santa suit. Terribly sorry. You know what I do have though? What I do have is I have a Santa hat. It's not my hat, it is my dog's hat, which is why it has the little straps. We'll see if this works. It doesn't work. You know what I'll do? I'll just put it underneath the there we go. I'll just put it under the headset. Practically the same thing.
Very classy.
But welcome, and today we've got special guest Munkus coming in to help out with the co-casting. How you doing today, Munkus?
I am doing great. I hope everybody out there is having a Merry Christmas. I know that I am. I am excited for this Slim Games.
Absolutely. So we're going to see here a Division D East matchup between Church of Murky and Frank's Furters. And obviously this is a replay cast, so we're not going to have all the same draft setup and everything that we would see in a live show, but still, you know, we'll get the opportunity to see some hats and chat with all of the fine people out there in Twitch land.
Div D is always super interesting to me because I can never predict it, what's going to happen, either with the drafts or with the hero choices or how important they are to the game.
Absolutely. Very true, very true. Well, we are going to see some familiar heroes. We're going to see some probably less often seen heroes in this coming up match. And we do have a couple of other matches that are going to be coming up later. A Div C match between Durtan's Couch and Die for Vision. And a Division B match between Skigglies Wigglies and Indecisive Scrubs. So we got a full schedule for Christmas Day. And I do want to shout out there, A Fishy coming in with the gift sub to the only black cat. Well, apparently there's only one. So there you go. Let's see, we are in a group, so let's get this set up here. The maps today. Oh, that was my mom texting me Merry Christmas. I'm going to tell you the maps as I text my mom back because I'm not that guy. So Church of Murky banned out here the Cursed Hollow and Towers of Doom. And then we've got Frank's Furters banning out Sky Temple and Alterac Pass.
Oh, none of these guys like the big macro maps.
Well,
are we going to maybe see a Braxis Haldell?
We are going to see a Volskaya Foundry, actually.
Ooh, okay.
So still a fairly large map. Macro still has some pretty significant value, but that objective gets a lot as well. Let's see.
Macro is important, but the macro is more so directly related to your team fights.
For sure. So, oh, it's his birthday. Oh, yesterday. Well, happy birthday to the only black cat.
Ooh, okay, I like. I don't know which teams are which here. I like the
Church of Murky's on the left.
Solgen on one side and Cassia on the other. I like that.
This is an interesting draft here from Frank's Furters too.
Are they the one with the
triple,
the Rexar and the
Yeah.
Leoric?
Yeah. All right, here we go. I just had to get the game paused there, and all right, everything that shouldn't be shown is gone, so we're gonna go ahead and get to introducing the teams. Why don't you go ahead and take Church of Murky on the left?
On the left? Okay. We have Bagoli on Malfurion, J-Show on Thrall, the Dude on Li Ming, Orion on Cassia, and Shock on Muradin.
Alrighty, over here to the right, we've got Frank's Furters. We got Magic Master playing Leoric. DJ Coldcut's going to be playing that Rexar. Dallying Pig going to be playing Johanna Indecisive on the Uther. And Boggs on Zul'jin.
You know what? I've decided I'm going to be a Church of Murky homer for this game because I like the Cassia pick. I rarely see Cassia, and I love to see Cassia come out. I think she's super underappreciated. Sure, absolutely. Well, we do have that charge strikes too, so really high value into such a heavy frontline team between this Uther, Misha, Leoric, Johanna. Oh, absolutely. Charge strikes, I think, is the only build to go on Cassia. It does so much damage, especially in these like really confined spaces. It's really easy to get value off of that, and you don't have to wait for a power spike. You don't have to depend on other people setting up blinds. It's just always strong. For sure. So also of note, yeah. Sorry, also of note, we've got the Crash Lightning here from Thrall, and that's gutsy. It is, but it's also, this is a map where you spend a lot of time fighting on a control point away from the lane. So I could see that getting a lot of value. The question is like, is it enough? Because you've got a pretty heavy team that you're going into, like, and Zul'jin wants you kind of to bring him down a bit. So we'll see. Well, see, I've had this discussion with a lot of people on whether or not like you should pretty much ever go Crash Lightning. And the issue is that yes, Crash Lightning gives you a lot of damage, but once you get that level 16 Thunderstorm, the Echo of the Elements gives you a lot more value because getting off 2 shots in quick succession is a lot more important than just one beefy one. Yep, and we're gonna see the rotation in here from Frank's Furters getting really aggressive, coming in onto the turret camp. Now they do have their own turret here on the Uther, but with the 4v, is that 4v3? No, it's 4v4. But just, I mean, they just don't take enough damage here from Church of Murky. They're all at 75-80% health after fighting into a Li Ming and a Cassia. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Also, a little bit of a difference in how they've got their lane split. They have the Thrall up there in the top lane. Yeah, because they have... Not anymore! Because Church of Murky only has the one bruiser, they are kind of having to respond to what the other team is doing with their bruisers and their 4-man. That's the 3 members that aren't the bruisers are responding pretty quickly. Yeah, and given Uther's kind of tankiness, now this is on the current patch, so he did lose a little bit of his HP, but he still has the ability to increase his... I think Leoric might be dead here. Is this Cassie? No, she backs off. That was pretty close. 500 HP, yeah. So I was just going to say, you know, Uther gained a lot of potential survivability at level 20, right? I mean, his other stuff didn't really get above pre-level 20, but at level 20 he gets, you know, either that extra devotion or he gets a double divine shield. Interested to see what they go with here with Uther. He did go into the Holy Radiance at level 1, so I kind of am guessing he may go into that devotion because that adds another half second and increases the armor to 40. Oh no, Cassie's getting rotated on here. I think she's dead. Yep. Yeah. So that's two kills here so far for Frank's Furters, both of which were rotation ganks. So gonna have to have good communication coming out from Church of Murky to make sure that they're individuals who are trying to soak those lanes and get them caught up to level 7 are a little bit safe. Yeah, Cassie is super tanky, but not when she gets stunned, and you can't have her solo out there on her own like that. She doesn't have any escapes. Yeah, the best would be if she took, I think it's called War Traveler at 7, but of course she wasn't 7, so she couldn't have taken that, and she didn't take it, which is also fine. But that gives you that extra movement speed when you're not when you have your shoot, what's it called? Her trait. Avoidance. It gives you movement speed on her trait, but I believe you have to have not attacked or... You can attack, but you can't use abilities. Okay. So Muradin getting stunned there.
I wasn't sure if he had tried to dwarf toss out, but it looks like that was available. So Wall fully down here in the top lane, Cassia down there in the bot lane, trying to catch up on that XP. Keeps him pretty close here. The Condemn pulling the team in, and the Protector going in doesn't have a lot of health. Will get the well, and is going to back out.
Frankfurter's still holding on to all their items. That's a pretty big win, getting both the Protector and not having to use any of their turrets.
Yeah, getting the kill onto Cassia in the bot lane put Church of Murky in a bit of an awkward spot. They couldn't really effectively go in and stall out at that point.
It looks like Frankfurters is going to add yet another turret to their collection. That'll be 3 turrets to 1 for this next objective phase.
And that's assuming that neither team uses their items here in between. Level 10's coming up soon for Frankfurter's Murd, and going in looking for this Uther. The turret does go down there from Uther, and so does Uther. So that's the first kill here for Church of Murky, but they may be in a bit of danger here.
Her turret, and down goes Malfurion.
We got the battle of the turrets over here. It was won by the red turret.
And this would be a very significant win for Frankfurters. They have 10 now. They traded turret for turret, and they're getting the regen point.
Yeah, and that biotic emitter gives 40% of your healing and mana, and that's just even more value when all of the heroes on your team have extra hit points.
Yeah, and especially considering you have a Zul'jin with Taz Dingo, and Uther doesn't heal a ton. He has good armor for, preventing you from taking big damage, but he doesn't give a lot of healing. So that regen point is super effective for his team.
Yeah, and again, I mean, the potential for reduced damage. Well, we're going to see the rotation in onto Boggs. Boggs is going to fall. Doesn't use the Taz Dingo, but does use his turret. So, you've got a team here that Rexar took Animal Husbandry, so his health is increasing over time, as well as Misha's.
Oh, wow.
You've got...
That is such a risky choice.
It is a little bit. You've got Zul'jin, who can heal himself a little bit. You've got Leoric, who can self-heal. You've got Johanna, who doesn't have the capability to self-heal yet. Maybe she goes into that at 16, but ultimately has Iron Skin, and it's on a reduced cooldown. So, I mean, if you're going to have a team that you want an Uther into, this isn't a bad one to have.
Oh no, not at all. This is a really good team for Uther. All that survivability and the Taz Dingo. It's just good luck killing anybody.
And there's the Entomb onto Cassia. The Entomb just in time there to make sure that the team could get in and lock that kill down. So with the control point coming up, Bestial Wrath used there on Rexar, or I guess on Misha. Looking for the Lee-Ming.
Second time that Cassia has been caught out like that. I'd really like to see Thrall go down into that bottom lane so that Cassia can be a little safer.
Blessed Shield used to lock down the Thrall, and that's going to be another kill here for Frankfurters.
Sundering Earth came out, didn't really do much. We're just trying to use it to escape there. If you're trying to escape, I think Earthquake is the better escape option. This gives you a lot more breathing room.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much value the Sundering gets against this team. They don't have anybody who wants to channel anything. You're not looking at a Mosh or a Ravenous Spirit or anything like that.
There are 2 ways I see it gets value. One, by stopping Zul'jin from attacking when he's at 0 health at Taz Dingo. And 2, by moving Leoric away from his entomb, so the person can walk out of that.
So the only other thing that I was thinking is that they might be looking at this for a level 20, because since this is a pretty heavily melee team, speaking of heavily melee, Cassia, not even out, just right at the wall. Didn't matter.
Zul'jin was pretty much melee range, throwing those axes at her.
Magmuffin in chat pointing out here the orb build with glass cannon, so I mean that's who's gonna get to her unless they somehow get her locked down, but she's pretty far back. Has to hit those orbs though.
Alright. it's the right choice to make if you never die, and she hasn't died yet, so...
Yeah, and there's nobody really to threaten her either. Right? Like, she has to be up in the face. That said, I mean, she was threatened a little bit earlier by Rexar, but not dangerously so. So I think that it's actually a pretty good pick for what they're going for here.
Well, considering that her build is going to require her to stand really far back, as long as she doesn't get locked down, she should be okay. Oh, big fight happening on the point. All these items going down. That's 2 biotic emitters. And the turret.
Oh, Malfurion's stuck? No, he's not. Never mind. So, Li Ming trying to save Malfurion here. The root coming out onto Leoric, but... Does she die here? I don't know if she can... Yeah, okay.
Nope.
So, it was funny because you said, right as you were saying, yeah, Li Ming took this build, she wants to be as far away as possible. She dives right onto the point. Like, not with a team, just by herself, to try to make sure that she can, you know, cap it. But unfortunately, again, there's this big team of heavy hitters there, and Li Ming, if she's close in like that, does absolutely nothing.
Right.
No calamity, no, you know, okay, so occasionally she gets some missile damage, but it's a lot harder to hit one target when you're right in the face of 3 or 4, especially with a Misha added into the mix there. So just,
right.
It was unfortunate timing.
And a part of the problem is that you have Cassia, Thrall, and Muradin who all really want to dive in, and this Li Ming build really wants to poke. If it had been Calamity, Li Ming, then yeah, she would have been diving in right with them, and there would be a lot of synergy there. She just wants to stay back and poke. The rest of her team wants to dive in and get in their face.
So Rexar sitting almost at 1200 on the Animal Husbandry there. Muradin's going to get stunned and stunned again and obliterated there. There goes the Sundering here, but it's going to be Divine Storm coming out onto Begoli, and that's going to be a Malfurion death as well. Cassia trying to get away, gets stunned by Indecisive, but another pickup here for the turret.
And Zul'jin completes his auto attack quest. This is the dangerous part with Zul'jin, and given how much Furters has been in control of the map, I don't see how Church of Murky comes back here now that Zul'jin is fully stacked and they have a talent advantage going into this last point.
Yeah, I think Church of Murky can get level 16 before they, I mean, certainly before they cap it. Before Franks gets the actual protectors. So they'll at least have the opportunity to come in. And especially with the team that they have, you mentioned the poke damage coming out from Cassia, from Thrall. They could certainly have a more strategic position being on the offense going into the point than if they were already on the point. Having the Li Ming orbs coming from long range as well will help them. So we'll see how these level 16s help them out. So Li Ming went into the Mirror Ball at 16 instead of going into the Arcane Orb talent there too.
Curious.
Oh, Leoric holding in the back here. I expect there's the Entomb. They're getting 2 and they're Sundering going out there off to the side. Leoric, however, the one that falls as the team was very split. Thrall dies on the side there. Indecisive getting the D-Storm onto Cassia. She's going to get taken out after dropping her turret. Shock trying to get whatever he can on a Boggs as well. But it's just going to be Li Ming and Malfurion left here. And Li Ming with that glass cannon, just a couple of hits, she's going to go down Malfurion as well.
And Leoric finishes his Mithril Mace Quest.
Yikes.
While dead.
Indeed. We'll leave this up. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any way to check the timing of the draft, but I can tell you guys what heroes were banned. Why don't we take a look at the bans here while we don't have any team fighting. So the bans from Church of Murky were ETC, Raynor, and Orphea, which explains why we don't see ETC and Raynor. And then Frank's Furters banned out Greymane, Sylvanas, and Stukov. So,
all good bans.
Yeah. I mean, I like those bans. Makes sense as to what why we're seeing what we're seeing.
I imagine that they picked up Johanna and Zul'jin at a similar time, and Cassia was in response to that.
I'm not sure how, but it looked like Cassia got jumped or thrown or something, but I don't see any way to do that, so maybe I'm just crazy.
Maybe she got hit by the hand.
Oh, that's probably what it was, yeah. So 2 kills here, Li Ming getting some resets as Cassia did go down there at the beginning of that. The keep, however, going down as well. I'm confused. I thought somebody... Oh, Uther had redemption. Okay. I was like, I know I saw a second death in there. What's going on?
Well, this is about as well as Church and Murky could have hoped for the fight to go. They traded out. They're down 20, so they don't need to be pushing this fight right now.
Yeah, this is... I mean, I don't see any way that this doesn't end in the game now. As they just threw away Muradin, basically. Well, if they keep chasing Li Ming and she can get big orbs, maybe? Like, Dowling Pig's pretty low here.
Wow, that chunked Uther for half of his health.
Yeah, I mean, that build is no joke, especially, like, if you get the mirror ball and you hit with 5 of those, that's... In all seriousness, that's as much damage as Angelic Armaments from Imperius. And that's an ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
It might be a little bit less damage, actually. But not by much. And if you take Seeker, it's probably exactly the same.
It chunks him for a lot, that's all I know. I'm not the math guy on the team.
Valkymer pointing out the Frank's Furters was in C-West last season. So these teams did play against each other in an off-season event called the Zul'jin Distillery Invitational. And they were both pretty solid in that. I don't recall exactly the standings at the end. Cassia needs to get out of here. Is going to get slowed by Zul'jin. Looking for that Entomb, maybe? There it is.
Yep. Cassia has been caught out a lot, and I think Church and Murky needs to just go ahead and cap this top point instead of holding on to it. They need that experience bad.
I don't understand why they're holding on to it in the first place. Like, I don't see any significant value from that. So Thrall is gonna be fine because nobody's really close enough to him to catch up there. Yeah, Dowling Pig says we for sure lost in the off-season match. So, you know, these teams have played each other. They're, you know, relatively familiar with each other. Thrall, however, going to get caught by Misha's charge, and Blessed Shield going out onto Shock and Begully. Tranquility being used, and that's going to be another keep here. Still 55 seconds until Thrall's up, so
this could be 20 advantage. This
yeah,
might be game. It definitely is now if they get this kill. Yep.
Well, that Divine Storm finishing off the, I don't even know, Muradin, I think, is going to be the nail in the coffin as they get the kill onto Li Ming as well. So not quite getting to the level 20s. Yeah, the catch onto Cassia there was unfortunate for Church of Murky. You know, you get to this point where you're behind at level 20 and it can be difficult. You want to go out and get that XP, but you're kind of stuck in a difficult place of you gotta wait and let it come to you. So Valkymer, yes, they did ban both ETC and Raynor. So there you go. I'm going to show these stats, and I'll be back in just a second. If you want to talk about any of the stats or anything, Munkus, by all means.
I mean, you can look at Li Ming's stat of 120,000 damage. That is enormous, all things considered. I believe Zul'jin only had 70,000 damage comparatively. Li Ming got a lot of work done poking the enemy team. They just, a lot of times they were down a person or unable to fight because somebody had gotten picked off for one reason or the other. I think that they just needed to have a little bit better positioning, maybe have Thrall in the offlane and have Cassia hanging out with her buddies so that she doesn't just get CC chained and locked down to death. talent choices right now.
Yeah. Not only that, but I mean, part of the reason that you had Cassie was to try to negate the Zul'jin, and so if Zul'jin's not in the off lane, then you lose a lot of that value.
Right. And it really doesn't take much to kill Cassio once you have her stunned.
Yeah.
Then she loses all that armor.
All right, well, the request was made for dogs in Santa suits. There you go, everybody. Alpha's in her Mrs. Claus suit. Now you gotta get down so I can type. All right, so game number 1 was Volsky Foundry that went over to Frank's Furters. Game number 2 is gonna be Tomb of the Spider Queen.
An extremely popular NGS map.
It is, but surprisingly enough, it is not the number 2 this season.
Really? What is?
Battlefield of Eternity. Which is really surprising. Because it was not in the top 3. Like, I think it was Infernal Shrines, which is still number 1. And then I think Tomb of the Spider Queen, and then Volsky Foundry last season. And Volsky Foundry seems to be one of the lower map selections this season.
I just know that Mega Muffin doesn't let us play on either Shrines or Tomb pretty much ever.
Fair enough. Let's see. So just hey, we are gonna see some excitement here. These are gonna be some fun heroes. Oops, I just screwed that one up.
Are we gonna see maybe a Butcher?
No.
Deathwing?
I did have to check. So Deathwing was legal this week for these teams, but did not get picked in either the last game or this game.
That is shocking.
We are going to see another Zul'jin. We are going to see Rexar again. We are going to see Leoric again. And okay, teams are all set up. Let me just catch up on chat.
Bruiser column? Are Rexar and Leoric on the same team again?
They are. Yep. With an Anubarak as the front line. Let's see. I'm just catching up on chat real quick to make sure there wasn't anything here. Pick, they did ban, ET. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, let's get this game started up and moving forward here. Alright, Alpha, you want to go to your seat? Here you go. Oh, I thought I had my... There we go. I didn't have the CoCaster Munkus on the screen there.
Ah.
Oh,
a Kel'Thuzad.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, I don't like Uther with Garrosh because their traits don't stack.
All right. Pause the game. Shut that down. Shut that down. All right, I think we are ready to go here. We do still have Church of Murky on the left, so take it away, Munkus.
We have Shock on Garrosh, Gully on Uther, Orion on Sylvanas, J-Show on Artanis, and The Dude on Kel'Thuzad.
All right, and over here to the right, we've got Frank's Furters. Indecisive going to be playing Lucio. Magic Master on Leoric, Dallying Pig on Anubarak, DJ Cold Cuts on Rexar, and Boggs back on the Zul'jin. So this is a little bit of a different map. You've got the shorter lane rotations. You know, Garrosh in general does like this map because it's very easy to grab people on a rotation and isolate them. A lot of the heroes here from Frank's Furters, though, not that big of a deal if they get thrown. Like, Leoric just walks away. Anubarak burrow charges out. Lucio, depending on where he's at, may be okay.
Well, with Anubarak, it kind of depends. Did Anubarak just burrow in?
Oh, well, of course, yeah.
Shotgun.
So it's
And
very...
I think the key to this match is going to be whenever you see a Kel'Thuzad in a game, pretty much the game hinges on how fast does Kel'Thuzad become a real hero. And he becomes a real hero at 30 stacks.
Yeah, and once he gets to 15, it's a little bit easier for him to hit that. And into a Misha, you would think that might be a little bit easier as well, but we'll see. So far, we've got Party Mix coming up on the halfway point. And Uther going into Hammer the Lightbringer, Warbringer there for Garrosh. Warbreaker, sorry. Warbringer is the ability.
And again, I will note that Uther's trait to give bonus armor does not work on Garrosh.
Well, it doesn't stack with Garrosh, but if it is used early enough... Actually, it just stacked.
It does?
It did. He went up to 45 there when he had 20, or 47 when he had 22, so... Interestingly enough, it seems to stack. I didn't think it was supposed to.
Yeah, it's not.
So there you go. All of your words just literally thrown out the window because they stack. By the way, somebody died. It was Garrosh.
Maybe it's negative armor effects that aren't supposed to stack, and I'm just absolutely wrong.
No, I think you're correct that the armor, like the bonus armor effects that are the same, are not supposed to stack. It's supposed to take the higher of the two. So Garrosh may be treated differently because of his trait, but I don't know. That's strange. Well, we do see Zul'jin and Lucio rotate down to get onto the siege camp. Of course, they did that quietly, so nobody knows what's going on down here. They're just missing from the map. Where could they be? It's going to be the subwoofer here at 4 as well for Lucio. There's the throw on to Lucio. As mentioned, he kind of able to get out, but the stun follow-up from Uther able to lock him down long enough for that rotation to come in and get that kill.
That and all those body blocks, he didn't really have anywhere to go.
Yeah, body blocks don't normally bother Lucio if he can get to a wall, and there was a wall fairly close, so I think if he hadn't gotten stunned, he probably could have gotten to that hit push off and been okay. But that stun, yeah, doesn't take much to kill a Lucio if you can get him stunned and hold him down for a moment.
Very true. Got an Anubrak rotating down bottom. Only 6 gems needed from the red side to get their turn in, and they got it.
Indeed. So Frank's Furters going to have the first web weavers here. Pretty early still. 3.5 minutes roughly when they turned in. So these are not going to be super strong. It looks like the defense, at least for right now, looking at coming down into the mid lane.
And looking at the stacks right here, Kel'Thuzad is now at, well, he's at 13 now. Zul'jin is only at 5 stacks on his auto attack quest, which is a lot less than he was at in the previous game.
Yeah, for sure. Party Mix almost done as well. That'll be done here soon.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much an automatic completion.
Yeah, for this map for sure. I am interested to see if with that party mix, if Lucio's going to go into either of the upgraded talents for movement speed or increased healing at I think they're 13 and 20 there. So top's cleared up, and ultimately Frank's Furters is going to get a full fort out of this bottom lane. And this web weaver's still fairly healthy, so they're going to get some time elsewhere as Artana's coming down to try to clean this up.
I mean, a fort is as well as you could hope for in the first web weavers. They usually don't get anything accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, you hope for walls, and if you get more, then that's great. But I mean, there were no kills in that either. Like, that's usually, if you can get some kills, then that's where that leads to that. But there was just so much time spent focusing on the top and mid lane from the damaging heroes, the Kel'Thuzad and Sylvanas there. We're going to get this rotation in. They recognize that the heroes are here onto the Bruiser camp. No Garrosh, no Leorix. So this, I think this favors if they take it. Yeah, I think it favors. Never mind.
Rip. Oh, that Zul'jin was just dead to rights there.
Well, and we did say that there were a few heroes that were okay, but obviously Zul'jin was not one of those heroes that if they get thrown, you're just okay with it.
He got swapped, he got thrown, and then he got stunned.
Yeah. Kel'Thuzad, however, in a bit of danger, able to get away. The Lucio speed boost there really providing some value for his team to try to catch up to that mage.
And KTZ is at 20 stacks. He wants to hit 30 right around hitting level 10 so that he can start deleting people. And that's going to be the key, getting those last 9 stacks.
Yeah, and to a certain degree, I almost want to see Kel'Thuzad just go, like, hunting. Like, go find those stacks. Find a Misha or something to get easy stacks. Make use of that groundbreaker from Garrosh. Swap coming out onto a Nubrak, but he's going to dive in. Thrown over the wall, but gets the Impale out onto both Garrosh and Sylvanas. They're both going to fall.
And a noob just walks out because, oh my god, the swap!
Well, he does make it just barely to the other side of the wall with his burrow charge, but that was a great swap.
It's those accursed beetles, that's what it is. Those beetles are just, he's just like, oh, I swapped under the tower, I'll just spawn a beetle.
Yeah.
That was just disgusting. Seeing anybody get put under a tower that much and just have nothing happen to them.
And Nubrak's probably the one that you could do that with. I think anybody else would have a bit more of a problem, but we're going to see there the level 10's coming up. Big AoE taunt here from Garrosh, but no follow-up as Kel'Thuzad already used his big spells there. Still needs 3 more, so he'll be finishing up soon.
Oh no, this is 33 gems.
Well, I was just about to say no deaths, and then they had to change that. Sound barrier used, keeping the team alive there as Kel'Thuzad finishes his stacks, get the kill onto Misha. Both teams do have enough return here, though. And it looks like
Murky missing those 30 gems from Artanis. That's just gonna hurt.
Well, it looks like the dude about to fall here was a little aggressive in trying to find that Leoric kill. Orion here on Sylvanas, using the Haunting Wave to try to get out. Although they do get the kill onto Lucio. I honestly, I expected the Sylvanas was probably more likely to die there.
Oh man, that very scary Garrosh. And yeah, the armor is stacking. He went up to 64 just then.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought they said that. Maybe that never made it into actual play. So. All right. Well, bottom lane's gonna get cleared out by Artanis. Top lane's got a rather healthy Webweaver here. And it looks like they're going to lose both top and mid.
Speaking on hero choices, obviously we don't have access to the draft, but I think Artanis was a good response to the Zul'jin. Instead of the Cassia, he's a bit bulkier, and that suppression pulse, that 4 seconds of blind, just really shuts down Zul'jins.
Yeah, absolutely, and he can do it from anywhere, so he can be off in the solo lane clearing something, and then if they try to engage, just there you go. There's your blind.
Exactly. And there's the final victory complete. That increases Kel'Thuzad's survivability by a significant amount.
Yeah, getting that additional healing is fantastic, but also if he does die, getting the buyback is pretty hot as well. But we're gonna get this rotation fully from Frank's Furters. The throw going out, silence as well here. A big combo from Kel'Thuzad, but Orion gonna get that divine shield. However, Begoli there, not so lucky. A lot of gems dropped, but Orion able to sneak in and grab him. Might pay for it, however. But just barely makes it out.
All those KTZ ults. Remember when you got another immediate free cast from that?
Yeah, that was insane.
That was a fun month.
How to kill Hammer in one easy step.
Kapew, 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 kapew. Oh, Rexar soloing the boss.
So Rexar has, at 1 he's got Regen Master. No, that's not him, sorry, Derp. Easy Prey, so Misha gets that armor against the boss, so she does have the capability to do this. So the question is, does Church of Murky have any idea? And right now it doesn't look like it.
He has Animal Husbandry and he hasn't died. That's giving him a decent chunk of HP.
Well, the taunt going out onto Zul'jin, he is going to get pulled back. He had a dot, it looked like, from Sylvanas there, but Zul'jin has almost no health but getting healed up by the Lucio. Oh, the sound barrier interrupted and Lucio going to go down, but they still don't know that this boss is taking place. Or if they did, they just were too distracted to deal with it, as they do get their first, I think, web weavers of this game.
Their first web weavers. This is a bit of a rough spot because bottom, those giants in that catapult will auto clear those spiders. Mid can get cleared for free by red, and top is going to be dealing with this boss.
Yeah. If they hadn't, if they knew about the boss and waited a little bit, then maybe that works out more in their favor. But let's take a look. How many gems do they have left? What was that, 6? Oh, they definitely have enough for another turn in. So
is that a dead Zul'jin? It is a dead Zul'jin.
Shoot, I missed that entirely.
It was the swap. Garrosh through, taunted, dead.
Nice, nice. Well done.
These are the Arcana swaps have been on point. This is a very good Arcanus played by J-Show.
Well, we're seeing everybody rotate up into the top here. Impale going out. Begoli not quite able to catch up to Lucio, as he's a slippery little devil. But 16's now available for Frank's Furters here, so big power spike for them.
And with Sylvanas, you really only need to get one really good turn in on this map with Sylvanas, because she can immediately turn that into like a 4 foster and keep.
Kind of surprised Lucio made it. Yeah, that D-Shield I think was meant for Artanis, but they were so close together inside that Entomb, and this looks like Garrosh probably dies. The dude definitely dies. Well, definitely.
Oh,
I think that the dude was trying to see if he could maybe bait them into a corner so he could try to get some combo action going there, but yeah, not gonna happen against that Anubarak and Zul'jin.
Well, that was a little bit of highway robbery right there. Now Orion is the bank with 38 gems on his person.
Valeria in chat saying he ran to their side thinking it was his. I don't know if that's actually an accurate statement, if like that's somebody from the team saying, oh yeah, that actually happened, or if that's just an observation, but yeah. 16's available for both teams here, as mid keep can be the first to fall, just like last game here. Misha getting the big stun. Valeria says, I base that on first-hand knowledge and experience. It does happen, sure.
And it looks like Frankfurters is going for their Breezer camp. They're still about 18 gems short of a turn-in. But now Church of Murky, they have their own turn-in. And both sides have been doing a pretty good job of of robbing the other team. So we've only seen a couple of turn-ins so far.
Yeah, and Church of Murky needs to like get this in relatively soon, because this is where they actually have the value. Now, with this bush gank though, oh Garrosh. Goodbye, Garrosh. Maybe not. The cocoon going out onto Uther, they're trying to get him out. Garrosh attacks so slowly. Big taunt onto Lucio and whoever else there.
Ooh. But Zul'jin completes his stacks.
Kel'Thuzad is throwing these Shadow Fishers out just like they're candy, and I think that is actually a problem for them. They need to make those burst combos happen, not just a not just use it as a zoning tool.
Right, they need to do it after landing the chain so they get the negative armor hit too.
Exactly. And also the root, because keep in mind, Hungry and Cold picked up, so that's going to increase the damage of Death and Decay. It's going to increase the damage of literally everything that he does, so. Swap on a Misha. Oh, they need the root. Can they get the root? Oh, does he die? Reset the animal husbandry. There it goes.
Rip. Rexar didn't take a level 4 talent. It's a good talent if you never die. But the second you do...
Alright, so the Web Weavers are going to spawn around the middle of the lane top, close-ish to the middle for mid and bot. And it looks like they're just going to push up into the top lane here, which, again, with Sylvanas, I think that's fine. Oh, do they get this Lucio? That stun was huge.
Wow, that is an amazing pickup. And a swap on... Or... Oh, is he going to get away?
Nope!
Well,
3
he was certainly
kills.
silenced after that shot.
3 kills, and with yeah, he was. And with Sylvanas now, they can likely push for keep here.
Yeah, I don't think that they can end the game, but they certainly can take out the keep. You have a good 30 seconds until it's a 5-on-5 again.
And I'm pretty sure the boss is available. That said, 20s aren't coming up here for Frank's Furters, so they're gonna have to be mindful of that. Again, the zoning Shadowfisher there. J-Show getting the swap, pulling again onto Rexar. Oh my goodness!
Ooh, that's pretty big.
Yeah, that Misha stun is huge for what Frank's Furters wants to do. That swap just barely missing here. I'm gonna drop the talents here so we can see the full area here as level 20 is available now. It looks like they do get the keep.
You gotta watch out for the Entomb.
Leoric's looking for it, but hasn't found a good spot. The stun from Garrosh, but he's gonna get put into the cocoon and is gonna get pulled out. Nobody gets hit by that Entomb. Shock trying to get in there. Zul'jin pops Taz Dingo is healing up as well. That's going to be the kill onto Artanis here. Shock throwing Kel'Thuzad away into the fray, but Sylvanas is in danger. There's nothing she can do at this point. She doesn't have Haunting Wave.
And this might end up being game.
It looks like that's the case. Yeah, those level 20s ultimately allowing them to get some extra kills. Level 20's coming up. I'm a little surprised to see them go for the turn-in as opposed to just go in the game, but I mean, it's fine because they'll have a Web Weaver now as well. It just spends 10 seconds or so.
But yeah, I do think they could have just ended the game.
Well, they definitely can now.
Yeah, there's no stopping Zul'jin.
Well, yeah, and Kel'Thuzad getting silenced there with the body block, bringing him solo. That looks like it's going to be Frank's Furters. And that's too bad. I thought Church of Murky did really well coming back into that game, and you know, the only thing that I really would have said that I would have liked to have seen done better is those Shadowfishers. A lot of the combos, like, were there potentially. They got the combos Misha Rexar, but they didn't get a lot of other kills they could have, I think, with Uther has stuns, Garrosh has stuns and taunts and all that stuff, and they just weren't getting them.
I do want to say Artanis did a really good job with setting up those swaps. Kel'Thuzad did a lot of work though. Look at that damage that he did. Like 91,000 damage on Kel'Thuzad. That's pretty good.
It definitely is, and I don't want to downplay the value that Kel'Thuzad got into that team. I just think it could have been even better.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he could have. I think the irony is he would have had less damage if he had been landing his Shadow Fissures with his combo, because they would have just been dead.
Exactly. Yeah, Lucio does a really good job of healing up that damage over time from Death and Decay and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, take a look. Sylvanas had 77,000. That's more than Zul'jin had. That's more than any 2 people on their team had, basically. So they had a lot of damage. They just didn't get as many kill secures as they would have liked with having a Garrosh pick comp.
Well, and also Lucio, part of the reason why they had so much damage is Lucio, is healing them, whereas like Uther, he does a lot of prevention, and he gives you the armor. Like he only healed 30. He healed for a third of what Lucio did. Uther's value there was stopping damage from happening, and Zul'jin just pumps it out. It's hard to be an Uther doing Zul'jin.
Yeah, especially with that being so consistent, because Uther's on a very long cooldown. I think it's like 12 seconds for Holy Light, and Radiance is similar. So
yeah, Uther is good against someone like Kel'Thuzad. And Lucio is good against someone like the Zul'jin.
Yep. Alrighty, well, that's the end of this matchup here. Let's take a quick look at the standings and see where are the 2 teams in the standings right now between Frank's Furters and Church of Murky. This comes as no surprise to me. Number 4 and number 5 tied at 7 points apiece, just behind Probius and Zul'jin Distillery and Bancho, who are all tied with 8 points for first place. So there you go.
Oh, very nice. That second game was much better done by Church of Murky than the first. I think they did a good job of staying into the end.
Absolutely. With that Sylvanas push at the end, I think that they had the potential. I think that they committed a little bit to the fort, or to the keep rather, and the level 20s coming out, made it so that they, had a little bit of a tough time. Maybe in that circumstance, with Frank's Furters coming in and saying, hey, we're going to 4v5 this with level 20s, maybe the correct call in that case was just to turn around, right? You have a man advantage, and a man advantage in most cases can overcome level 20 advantages. So, rather than doing a full retreat, maybe they turn around, burn that Leoric down who's looking for, looking for an entomb, and then they march on to victory. I don't know if that was possible or not, but yeah.
They either needed to be more aggressive or less aggressive.
Exactly. Exactly.
Doesn't work out.
All right, well, coming up next is Duratan's Couch versus Die for Vision. So we'll be back in a few minutes as I get everything set up for that one. And thank you very much, everybody. Al says so as well.